Welcome on this Halloween Eve day. What It Takes Radio brings you TWIT Talks. That's right, and on this Halloween it's going to be kind of twits and treats and some words for the season. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. The What It Takes Radio Company brings you into the What It Takes Radio studio on this October 31st, Halloween. And we're going to be doing some TWIT talks. Now, it's going to be a little bit longer today, but it's about transformation, wisdom, insight, and truth. So we have TWIT and treats. TWIT talks and treats. Some information that might be helpful and useful for you on this Hallowed day. Now, I'm actually going to do something kind of fun. I'm going to say, essentially, we're going to talk about the 3 B words that might give us some lessons about life and business that we can learn from the October 31st Halloween experience. First of all, please keep in mind that, Halloween comes from the word Hallowed Eve. And now that's very important because you have to remember throughout history, the idea that there was not only this world, but there was a spirit world. Everybody knew that was true. It is only in our more modern times that people have said, well, that's just something that's a superstition or something that ignorant people believe. Scientific method is all. No, it's not. It's not even close anymore. And the idea that there was a spirit world, good spirits, bad spirits, all over the place. And they had to be worshipped or appeased or cultivated or challenged. They were a part of a person's life experience. So here is where it began. The 1st of November in the Christian tradition, goes back many, many, many years, was called All Saints' Day. It still is. It's a major celebration. And that's where we think and remember our ancestors. Those people who've gone before us, who were faithful believers, we remember them. They are now, in the spirit world. They're in heaven. They're in wherever you believe that the good spirits go. And so it was All Saints' Day. And it is celebrated that you then, in your worship service or in your program, you actually will bring up their name and thank God for their memory and pray for their spirit, just as we think we can do that sometimes. So that was the deal. Well, then the day before October 31st was Hallowed Eve. Now, in some cases, what would happen is that because they wanted to make sure it was good, some of the people would oftentimes go into the church on the evening and they would try and scare the bad spirits out of the church. Boo, go, get out of here. Because this is going to be, tomorrow is going to be for the good saints. So you get out of here. And so they would do that. And then the following day was a big celebration day of celebration and prayers and partying. It was not just a holy day. It was really, that's where the term comes from. It was a holiday. Well, on October 31st, 1517, a Catholic priest by the name of Martin Luther actually said, there are things that I think need to be reformed or taken care of. No organization is perfect and the church is not perfect. And so I want to challenge to a debate, kind of like the Charlie Kirk idea. I want to challenge people to debate certain things that I believe are true. And so he knew that a lot of people would be at the church on November 1st. So what he did is on October 31st, he went and to the church door, he put a big document, long document. It was called the 95 Theses, or the 95 Things I Believe, and he nailed it to the door so people could read it. Well, what happened was that that's exactly what happened. And in fact, people wanted to share it. So it was taken down and it was taken to printers. And all of a sudden, these things were printed because the Gutenberg printing press had just been invented. And so what happened was that Martin Luther, with his 95 Theses, started what became known as the Protestant Revolution, Reformation, because he went to the door on Hallowed Eve, posted his beliefs, and there the history of the world changed. It was a turning point. Many, many good things, many, many bad things. Europe was torn apart from the one universal Christian religion that pervaded into various sects and denominations, which is what we have today around the world. And all of that happened on Halloween because of that celebration story. Well, let me just give you a few thoughts about that. First of all, we oftentimes know that we dress up in costumes and sometimes become other people, pretend to be other people. My oldest daughter, Amy, was so excited. She would start planning Halloween literally in the summertime, thinking about the costume she was going to wear. Sometimes she got so excited that she even got a little bit sick on Halloween because she just could not wait to put on her costume and go trick-or-treating. So we go in disguise. Well, this reminds me of an interesting bee story. Wonderful woman who was one of my clients was starting her business, and I told her that from time to time she would have to not be herself. She's going to have to be a boss, and people don't like being a boss sometimes, and they'll be upset when this is your company and it's your business, and you're going to sometimes have to be tough and let people know that you're in charge and that they aren't, and that in many ways you are the one who will call the shots. And she said, I don't know if I like that. And I say, well, that's part of what you're going to have to be. I remember sometime after that, she called me up and said, Stan, you would be so proud of me because I've been doing what you said. And I overheard a conversation. I was called the B word. Now, I'm not going to use the word, but you can probably guess what it was. She was a strong, powerful woman, and she's giving people directions that they may or may not like. She was called the B word. And I said, well, she says, Stan, I get it. It's probably not personal, but you know what? That goes with the territory when you have to be a leader. There are going to be people who are not going to like it. Now, I've said that many times. If you're going to make a difference in the world, if you're going to be different, you're going to get lots of friends. Some of them are real friends. Some of them are fake friends, but you'll get a few foes. Just keep that in mind. You can't please everybody, and you won't. And if you want to be successful in life, you'll have to learn how not to be so pleasant that you try and be pleasing everybody. You probably will be called the B word or something equivalent. Secondly, Martin Luther said, "This I believe." Now, one of the things I teach people today is your behavior will come from what you believe. And one of the best ways to market yourself is to show that you are a man or a woman who has strong beliefs. So I would encourage you, and I used to make a number of my clients do this. I would say, your business, Good. How you run your business? Very good. How you live your life? Very, very good. All of those things are influencing things that you believe are true and good and necessary. And I want you to put it on the wall. We believe. Or this is how we do things around here. This is far more important than a mission statement. That's kind of a stupid thing to do. I'll talk about that some other time. But what do you believe? What do you believe is true? And if you want to be successful today, you're going to have to be a person of strong beliefs. And many of those beliefs will not sit well with some other people. But what do you believe? And now I remember that the woman who got the B word, she also got the belief word. And she did that. And she passed it around. And I remember one of her beliefs was, we take the hit. We take the hit. We don't blame around here. If we've done something wrong, if a client is unhappy, we take the hit. If you've messed up, you take the hit. And there was one woman, very talented woman, but when something went wrong, she couldn't help herself. She was so insecure. She just couldn't say, I'm sorry, I messed up. She always found a way of trying to get out of the way or put it in someplace else. Finally, my friend said to her, I had to let her go. She violated a fundamental belief. We take the hit. We don't blame others. That's important. And sometimes a year or two later, she said to me, Stan, you know, I've discovered that sometimes when I mess up, it's because I actually didn't live up to my beliefs. And she had them on the wall because we kind of let some of our beliefs and values go. And that's sometimes when we got into trouble. Okay. That's the second B word. Martin Luther on Halloween said, this I believe. And I will challenge you right now on this Halloween day. This is important. Do yourself a treat and come up with, this is what we believe. This is how we work around here. This is what we value around here. This is how we believe, and this is how we behave. And we do it. And we stick to it. And we do it well. I often say, before I want to deal with a company, I want to say, tell me your story. I don't want your mission statement. I want your story. And then I want you to tell me what you believe. And then we'll talk about your product and your services, which, again, everybody else has. But I want to know about you, your story, how you are different. And I want to know particularly, do you believe? And what do you believe? And then, what do we say on Halloween? Boo! That's meant to surprise, maybe scare us. What I will tell you is that you have to be good at saying boo. You're going to have to be a little bit mysterious. Sometimes people can't quite figure you out. I wonder what she's up to now. I wonder what we're going to do. Wow, this is different. They're going to change things around here. Halloween. Boo! You're going to have to learn the Halloween lesson, which is if you're going to be a leader in the world today, you're going to have to learn the power behind boo. And then make sure your behavior reflects both the fact that you understand that you have to wear a mask and you have to be tough, that you have strong beliefs, and that you are in charge of the surprises. Like one of my friends said, who was a leader, he says, I told my people I only want pleasant surprises. If there's something going wrong, let me know so it's not a surprise. But you, from time to time, are full of surprises. I remember one of my clients who decided that he was going to do that. And what he started to do when an employee really did something well, really performed well, he would go up to them and say, boo. And then he'd give them a $50 bill. Say, have a nice day. That's what he did. Just a gift. Have a nice day. Boo. Hi, I'm Stan with the TWIT Talk for today. Hopefully this has been helpful, a little bit of a treat. And we are in the business of helping you build a life and business that is successful, that does things right. And so please reach out to me, Stan at witradio.net, Stan at witradio.net. We're going to help you get on the radio. You got to be on the radio. You've got to be on television. That's just the fact of life today. You've got to be storytelling. You've got to be streaming, and you got to be selling. And it's got to be a part of a purposeful strategy, the 4 S's. We'll talk about that again. But there we go. Whatever you're going to do for Halloween, keep it clean, keep it nice. Don't do any damage. Behave yourself, but have a good time. And remember that it really is a celebration that there are spiritual realities in the world. And when you hit November 1st, you think about, maybe I should be thankful for some of the people who passed on, who in their life really helped my life. So part of my Halloween Eve is to get ready to say thank you for the people who have passed on, those all saints of the past who helped make my life better. And I would encourage you to do the same thing. All the best and blessings to you for this Halloween Eve day. Bye for now.